Good evening, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live on my YouTube channel as I continue my part series of the week that was college football history review, the 1983 college football season, week 11. Games that played on November 12, 1983. We're going to get into Syracuse beating Boston College 21-10. Boston College is ranked number 13 in the country. 21-10 was his final score with Syracuse as blanketing Boston College quarterback Doug Flutie. Orange pulled stunner. Flutie was sacked 3 times and picked off 3 times while being held to 12 of 36 passes for 114 yards. Counterpart quarterback Todd Norley led Syracuse with 180 yards passing, throwing 26-yard touchdown to wide receiver Mike Ciano to open scoring and 28-yard touchdown toss to tight end Marty Chalk to close the scoring. So tailback Troy Stratford paced Boston College with 147 yards rushing, tying 7-yard touchdown run in second quarter. Next, number 6, Miami beat Florida State 17-16. For second straight week, the Hurricanes needed late score to continue dream season. This time it was kicker Jeff Lee Davis booting a 19-yard field goal he earlier missed. 2 field goals longer than 40 yards as time expired to win in-state clash. Winning drive began at Florida State 49-yard line of the clutch 19-yard return on a punt by wide receiver Eddie Brown. Meanwhile, Miami quarterback Bernie Kosar connected with wide receiver Stanley Shakespeare on 2 10-yard passes before halfback Keith Griffin ran 20 yards to set up a field goal. Seminoles, who now had dropped 4 games by a total of 11 points, led for most of the game behind solid ground, a game that totaled 202 yards with tailback Roosevelt Snipes leading the way with 94 yards on 17 carries. Florida State defense also sacked Kosar 4 times. Seminoles held 9-point lead late in the third quarter after reserve quarterback Bob Davis scored on a 1-yard run to cap 76-yard drive. Kane scored Kemtet's final 10 points as 37-yard touchdown catch by Brown made up for earlier blunder. Florida State's first quarter safety had resulted from Brown's fair catch of Hunt on its own 2-yard line. Now, this was a fairy tale book story. This was a fairy book story with a fairy book ending, said Miami coach Howard Snellberger of another chapter in the Canes' magical season. Meanwhile, Clemson, number 17 team in the country, beat number 11 Maryland 52-27. Despite being shellacked by ineligible Tigers, Maryland became ACC champs with North Carolina's 17-14 loss to Virginia. Clemson fullback Kevin Mack ran for 186 yards, 3 touchdowns, as contributed to 350 yards on the ground, while quarterback Mike Epley threw first quarter touchdowns of 64 yards to tailback Kenny Flowers, 13 yards to tight end Katie Dunn to begin onslaught. Although quarterback Boomer Esiason put up good aerial numbers, Maryland never was a competitive factor, trailing 42-7 in the third quarter before Esiason ran for 2 touchdowns. I think this does tarnish the title to some extent. Admitted an honest losing coach Bobby Ross. Next, Auburn, the number 3 team in the country, beat number 4 Georgia and battled 2 top 4 teams 13-7. Georgia's knack for last-second heroics ran dry, although not before giving Tigers some worry wrinkles. Trailing 13-0, the Bulldogs quarterback John Lassiter hit wide receiver Herman Archie with 13-yard touchdown pass to 2:11 with 2:11 left to play. To cap the 80-yard drive in which Lassiter connected on 7 and 8 aerial darts. Georgia recovered onside kickoff before stalling on defense, stalling on downs with final pass broken up by Auburn quarterback Jimmy Warren. Auburn quarterback Randy Campbell led offense that gained 356 yards, dealing option pitchouts, leading to halfback Bo Jackson with 115 yards on 18 carries, while defense held Bulldogs to 168 yards, only 51 yards on ground. Taking advantage of field position, Tigers built 13-0 halftime lead on halfback Lionel James' 4-yard run and 2 field goals by kicker Aldo Greco. Our longest Auburn's trio of first half scoring drives was 47 yards, while best starting point for Bulldogs in first half was on the 34-yard line. Now, this loss snapped a 23-game SEC and 24-game home winning streaks for Bulldogs, while winning clinched at least a tie for SEC tied for Auburn. Next, Tennessee lost to Mississippi 13-10. Illinois beat Indiana 49-21. The 5 team in the country, Illinois, beat Indiana 49-21. Champaign was awash with roses as Illini won first Rose Bowl bid since 1963. Strong earlier attack took backstage as Illinois ground game totaled up 306 yards with fullback Thomas Rooks and tailback Dwight Beverly showing weight. Indiana could muster meager running in itself, getting only 32 carries on 62 yards while losing 4 fumbles. The game was decided early as Illinois opened with 27-0 lead before Hoosiers scored on a 28-yard second quarter pass from sub-quarterback Cam Cameron to wide receiver Dwayne Gunn. Any chance for Hoosiers rally ended on Illinois' four down goal line stand early in the third quarter. Not since 1928 had Illinois won 9 in a row. Next we have Texas, number 2 team in the country, beating Texas Christian 20-14. Despite gaining only 20 yards in the first half, the Horned Frogs took 14-3 lead to the locker room as linebacker Robert Lyles returned a fumble 80 yards for a touchdown. Safety Byron Linwood went 66 yards with interception to score a touchdown. Inspired by fullback Ronnie Robinson, who played in the second half with a shoulder injury, Longhorns rallied for a field goal and 2 touchdowns, including Robinson's 40-yard touchdown dash. Tailback from Texas, Michael Brown's winning touchdown came on 8-yard run by late in the third quarter, followed punt fumble. Late in fourth quarter, Horned Frogs still struggling with less than 100 yards of offense. Moved ball from own 45-yard line to Texas 11-yard line before stalling when cornerback Fred Acorn broke up fourth down pass aimed at TCU wide receiver Dwayne May. Longhorns had now outscored opponents 90-6 in third quarters during 1983. Texas A&M beat Arkansas 36-23. Brigham Young beat Colorado State 24-6. Brigham Young was ranked number 7 in the country. They beat Colorado State 24-6. Now, the Cougars won 8 straight WAC crown. Despite the sluggish effort, quarterback Steve Young completed 33 of 45 for 311 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he threw 2 interceptions. BYU lost 3 fumbles, 2 near Colorado State's goal line. Rams, who entered the game with a chance to wrest a conference crown for BYU, could not capitalize on turnovers, losing ball 4 times themselves. Colorado State quarterback Terry Nugent threw for 279 yards, and fullback Steve Bartolo rushed for 126 yards and touchdown. Young tied NCAA record set by former teammate Jim McMahon, and with 21st straight game of 200 yards or more passing. And finally, Arizona beat UCLA 27-24. Tie was all UCLA needed to keep first place in Pac-10, but the Wildcats put a dent in Bruins Rose Bowl plans as game ended on missed 37 yards field goal for near-perfect UCLA kicker John Lee. Quarterback Rick Neuheisel had hit 2 passes to move Bruins 43 yards into field goal range. Bruins' biggest failure came, however, they had to settle for at least 22-yard field goal, even though they advanced to first and goal at the 1-yard line. So Arizona quarterback Tommy Tunnicliffe drove his Chargers 69 yards in 8 plays. 2 winning 8-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Jay Dobbins with 1:01 left to play. Arizona kicker Max Zendejas kicked field goals of 53 and 51 yards. Wide receivers from the Wildcats, Brad Anderson caught 9 passes for 140 yards with his 32-yard effort, setting up Tunnicliffe's winning touchdown toss. clues. Look at the week that was college football history review, the 1983 college football season for week number 11. Games that played on November 12th, 1983, week 11. Look at the AP poll as November 14th is concerned. Number 20 was Maryland, number 19 Missouri, 18 Boston College, 17 Pittsburgh, 16 Alabama, Washington 15, West Virginia 14, 13 Clemson, 12 Florida, 11 Iowa. The top 10 round as this Ohio State, number 10. Number 9, Brigham Young. 8, Michigan. 7, Georgia. 6, Southern Methodist. Number 5 was Miami. Number 4, Illinois. Number 3, Auburn. 2, Texas. And number 1, Nebraska. So that concludes a look at college football history review, the 1983 college football season for week number 11. November 12th, 1983. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Do a video with Smack 2 tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.